Senator Sullivan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the witnesses here. I'm a big fan of our Native American communities, Alaska Native communities. You know, one thing I always like to brag about for our Alaska Native and Lower 48 Indian communities is the patriotism, special patriotism. Alaska Natives and Lower 48 Indians serve at higher rates in the military than any other ethnic group in the country, and that's very special. So, to all your members and tribal members, tell them thank you, because it's not noticed enough, and it's remarkable. Because let's face it, during a lot of our country's history, our Native people were discriminated against, all kinds of horrible atrocities, and yet, generation after generation, they step up and serve America in the military. It's remarkable. So, thank you for that. I also think it's outrageous that we have, whether it's reservations or over 30 communities in Alaska that don't have running water or flush toilets. The richest country in the world, some of the most patriotic communities in the world, and we can't get running water and flush toilets to them? So, this is a passion of mine. It's a passion of mine, especially in Alaska, where we have so many communities. I was just out in a number of our Alaska Native communities, rural communities that don't have running water and flush toilets. We need to do more. So can I just get very quickly from the witnesses your sense on, is there enough funding to address this? Basic needs. You know, during COVID, they told many Alaska Native communities that wash your hands 5 times a day. Oh wait, you don't have running water. How are you going to do that? So what do you think the best way to do it is? And I'll just ask each of the witnesses. But I do want to make one other point, which I do a lot in this committee. You know, there's a lot of discussion on racial justice, environmental equity, you know, the terms the Biden administration puts out. Unfortunately for my constituents who are indigenous, there's a big asterisk with the Biden administration. It's racial justice, environmental equity, but if you're an Alaska Native, this administration is out to get you. I just sent a text, I hope the news picks up on it, to Secretary Holland. I have a group of Alaska Native leaders from the North Slope of Alaska, the elected leaders, the tribal leaders, the Alaska Native Corp leaders, who have tried to meet with Deb Haaland 6 different times. They fly 5,000 miles to Washington, D.C. She and the President are undertaking policies that are devastating their region. North Slope, that's National Petroleum Reserve of Alaska, ANWR. They never get consulted. They're in town again. 6 times Deb Haaland has said, no, I'm not going to meet with you. So I've sent her a text saying, Madam Secretary, do the right thing, damn it, and meet with my constituents, please. Alaska Natives, please. Okay? We'll see what she does. Pretty sure she's going to ignore them, but sorry, I had to vent on that. To the point on where we should be, what's the most effective way, I know we have different tribes, different reservations, to make sure people get basic running water and flush toilets? It's not too much to ask in America. I'll go to each of the witnesses.
I can start. Thank you, Senator Sullivan. As we heard before, that the EPA just completed the drinking water infrastructure assessment, needs assessment, and that identified a need of 200, or was it 400 billion, no, $4 billion.
Okay.
And
For all of Indian country?
for Indian country, yes, including Alaska Natives.
Oh, okay.
That is up.
And they think that would be enough to get everybody running water and flush toilets?
Well, the issue at hand is it's providing access is one part of the puzzle.
Okay.
Providing the sanitation and the drinking water facilities. It's the operation and maintaining those systems is the difficulty.
Right.
And so once you have a state-of-the-art facility, do you have the operators? Do you have the people to maintain those? And the American public significantly put their investment into these systems. And we as Native people want to make sure they're operated over a long period of time and serve our community.
So does the $4 billion cover that, or that's in addition? That would be in addition.
I believe it only deals with the construction.
Okay, right,
And doesn't deal with the operation and maintenance component of
okay.
that. So I mean,
Thank you. That's, yeah, and that operation and maintenance issue is a giant issue we see in Alaska all the time.
Senator Sullivan, this is a very interesting situation that Alaska Natives have. We've been providing training courses. This gets back to the operations and maintenance side of things. Operators need to get trained, and then they go through the certification process. The trainings that we've had for Alaska Native villages have been some of the most heavily attended, standing room only type of situations, and the scenarios that were described by the operators were remarkable. You know, having, you know, literally, you know, sled dogs and snowmobiles to, you know, get to the various communities. I understand that the engineering side of things is very unique and specialized, but the situations are the same. You know, infrastructure, construction, the dollar amounts, I have no idea, but it's going to be very expensive. And then to maintain those systems, operations and maintenance, and so the process is all the same. It's just, is it being addressed adequately for Alaska Natives? I suspect definitely not.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Thank you. Ms. Wallingbull?
Senator Sullivan, I agree with my constituents here. The operation and maintenance is always the main issue for, you know, we face the same thing with, I stated in my testimony, we don't, all of our water and sewer operators are not certified. And so we face those same issues, but I don't think, just looking at, when you're mentioning dollars, I know that we did a cost estimate for our systems alone. Just like I stated, we have 2 systems with 3 water systems and 5 lagoons, which, you know, it's totally different from, you know, all the other reservations. But we, just alone, like in the cost estimate for 2017 was 30 million. You know, that's, you know, tripled now. But that wasn't for all of just, you know, fixing what we think needs to be fixed, because our system is not uniform. We, you know, our lines, like we said, undersized, but we go from like a 4-inch to 12-inch.
Yeah.
It's not a uniform system, so we face, you know, the supplies we need. We have to go 2 hours away because our local businesses do not carry any of the supplies to fix our pipelines anymore. So, but
Well, I want to thank, every place is unique, but to me, this is Mr. Chairman, this is an issue that I think should unite Democrats and Republicans on getting our First Peoples the ability to have clean water, right? It shouldn't be that hard. And so I'm a big advocate for this, particularly in my state, but in all the reservations in America. You know, again, some of the most patriotic Americans in the country, you know, have to use honey buckets. What we call honey buckets in Alaska. Well, they're not sweet smelling, I'll tell you that, right? So we'll keep working this, but I appreciate the witnesses being here on a really important topic for my state, certainly. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.